A to the K.
to the K.
To the K.
Triple H now solely running WWE Creative.
Now who are you going to blame?
Hey,
Update on CM Punk's WWE status.
it changes every day.
Yeah, yeah, that's up to date right now. By the end of the show, it might be not.
Brian Pillman Jr. is Brian Pillman Jr. no more as he gets a new gimmick change on NXT.
He gets a new NXT gimmick or a very old Attitude gimmick. Depends how you look at it, really.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. I tell you what, though, Karrion Kross is set for a new push. Again.
Yeah, yes he is. Maybe. Possibly. NWA bring back the territories.
What? Well, 2 NXT stars have left the company. Yeah, find out who.
If you listen to this, you don't know. It's not really have to
I
watch.
shouldn't have been so clickbaity with the way I said it, given the picture, but whatever.
Carlito returns to WWE, hopefully, unless he disappears again and we don't see him for once.
And has Lady Frost signed with AEW?
What?
Question mark.
And Bobby Roode done with in-ring career. Anthony, when's all this coming up?
Dude. All coming up right freaking now.
Indeed. So, rumour has it, courtesy of Fightful, of other people out there as well, that old Triple H is now running things, he's running the show without Vince McMahon's support. Now, that doesn't mean Vince has gone, nah, you ain't getting my support. Apparently, it was referred to as TKO, or Endeavour, whatever you want to call them, have essentially knighted Triple H as the creative.
The fuck?
Not my words. Words of the author.
Okay, so what we're saying is Vince McMahon retired.
Yep.
Left Nick Khan and his daughter. I don't know why I said it weird. In charge.
Europe.
And Triple H was in charge solely of creative.
Europe.
Then he sells the company, forces himself back in as chairman, starts taking over creative from a distance, partly, but leaving Triple H in some thingy. So now we can blame Vince for every bad thing that happens, right?
Yep.
And now, once again, Triple H is solely in charge of creative and Vince McMahon's taking a back step.
Yeah. Supposedly.
So we're expecting a new resurgence of wonderful things happening in WWE, or
Who the hell knows? It's Groundhog Day all over again. Like, I feel like we speak about this story all the time. And obviously, it's fans are so fickle. We say this all the time. Whenever there's something they don't like, it's been so easy to blame Vince, hasn't it?
Yep.
But now, according to this latest report, he's no longer got anything to do with the creative side of things. And people are going, oh, it's so obvious because if you saw Raw this past couple of weeks, Johnny Gargano's back and Bronson Reed is the number 1 contender and Tegan Knox was on the show, and it's like,
I love how it's like the list of things and you go, right, I just want you to take a breath and consider how good are these things that you're saying.
Well, exactly.
Like,
yeah,
all due respect to the stars, like there's been no build, they're just suddenly back. How incredible is this?
Yeah.
Not really.
It reminds me of when all these people started getting re-signed, and it was like, oh, it's hit row. Actually, you know,
this is the thing. It's like that initial dopamine. People just like the sudden surprises. It's like a Kinder egg for them, isn't it? It's like, what am I gonna get? Oh yeah, a crappy toy. That's what's happened here.
Such a fucking spot on analogy there. But no, it's true. I don't know why people are so hyped about it. Because to be fair, do we really want to see Johnny Gargano all over Raw again?
I'm sure some people do. I'm not being disrespectful in that sense, but it's like I think we're guys who we prefer story, right? That's why we were so into the Bloodline story before it kind of petered out into whatever it is now. But you can't just go, oh, it's Johnny Gargano, I remember him. You have to actually have a reason and a story.
Well, exactly.
And I'm willing to be there for it and see if it builds up and go from there. But just the mere fact he's back isn't going, wow, that's so creative. That's bullshit.
The thing to remember as well is everyone's made up, and it's it's totally Triple H's his stamp all over it because he's showcasing all these NXT people. NXT fucking sucked when they were this was the worst fucking incarnation of NXT was when fucking Johnny Gargano and Ciampa and
not my NXT.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah. So it's why are people even that bothered? But, yeah. So
I get
basically, if there's anything you don't like about the show anymore, you've not got the whole scapegoat of Vince to hide behind anymore because apparently it's got fuck all to do with him. So,
and then you got Shawn Michaels over in NXT just holding on to his fucking cowboy hat because no one's removed him from creative at all yet. So he's just I'm just going to stay the fuck quiet. Just going to stay over here, do my thing. Apparently he's just ringing Jade Cargill. I'm not even sure that was work related.
I know, yeah. It's just basically tried to slide into a DM. Just oh, we signed you. Yeah, that's what I'm on about. So, yeah.
I want to see what you're made of. It's like, oh, yeah, I'm going to put down performance centers. He's like, oh, yeah.
Yes, that's what I meant. So, yeah. take it with a pinch of salt at the minute, because I think, to be fair, it was reported people in the company have also been like, oh, well, we'll believe it when we see it if he stays gone. There's a lot of stuff happening with his different various cases and all that's going down at the minute. So it might be that for now, if he's away again, then they'll be bringing him back again. But Triple H has said all the way through it, he was constantly consulting with Vince anyway. It's like, I'd be stupid not to. He ran the company for years. So
I agree with Triple H's point. This is all like fan based when they go, Vince's prints are all out. It's like Vince did run the company for like 30 plus years.
Yeah.
So you go, yeah, he probably did know what he was doing for some other time, whilst you didn't always like what he did.
Yeah.
It was always going to. Same with Triple H. There's going to be some good stuff and some bad stuff. It's just the nature of the beast. They're trying things, aren't they?
And I'll still maintain, like, all the stuff that people loved, like Cody coming back and the bloodline and all that, all happened under Vince anyway. So really, what amazing stuff has Triple H even done? And
look, Cody coming back was good because he pulled Cody, who was a massive talent in the other company that should not be named. And
the excursion.
And it was like, wow, that's shocking. It wasn't story based. So how much creative is involved in going, we'll play his music.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And then the bloodline, I don't care what anyone says, happened organically. All the Sami Zayn stuff happened organically. No one planned that shit.
No.
So again, wasn't what in being in charge of creative just to watch it happen and go, yeah, carry on.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I'm not discrediting what they do, but the reality is the things that were the biggest things were things that happened organically, and that's part of what makes the magic of it, isn't it? Really.
Indeed. So yeah, let's see now. Let's see whether Triple H remains blameless or whether there's something to like about the show. He gets his fair share of the spoils, if you will.
Speaking of spoiled, so CM Punk has reportedly signed with WWE.
Yeah.
Simultaneously not signed with WWE.
Yeah.
It was also in talks with signing with WWE, and it's definitely going to happen.
Yeah.
But it's definitely not going to happen, and they have no interest in putting no offers to him.
Yes.
Take your pick.
Yep.
Because that has all been in the last 2 days.
It really has.
So the reliable sources here, Dave Meltzer and Fightful, have both said that there is no deal on the table. There is no conversation from WWE's side to sign CM Punk.
Mm-hmm.
So I think, as it stands right now, it would seem that, no, we're probably not going to get CM Punk. But if you believe random other places that I can't remember the names of, he's definitely going to be there for Survivor Series. It's pretty much a done deal, etc.
Yeah. What's so funny about this as well is people are basically saying, because Dave's come out and said this now, and Fightful are saying this, that means he's definitely there because they did similar stuff with Cody. So it was like Cody left and he was a free agent and all that kind of stuff, and then Dave was out saying, oh, talks have stalled, and then the next minute he rocked up WrestleMania. They're like, oh, it's all part of the plan, and that's what they're doing it for.
Well, this is where I hate it, though, because the internet's full of just bullshit in this sense, because they're like, apparently it's like, well, we approached WWE and asked, and they said that they're not currently in talks. And it's like, so it means they have been talking, or there isn't an offer in place, so it means they are talking, but they haven't made an offer. And it's like, or they've answered your fucking question.
Yeah,
exactly. Like, none of us know, none of us actually know, but the most reliable sources that we're aware of, or certainly from the ones I've seen, are saying they haven't put an offer out. And to be honest, I still maintain this. Why would you? They never had a good relationship. Maybe at some point when it was the Summer of Punk, but they ended on bad terms and had quite a bad relationship. He's done nothing but talk shit about them since.
Yeah.
He's now had a run in AEW where, again, it ended sort of sour and had a bad relationship, which kind of justifies their point a little bit. So explain to me what the intent is on signing CM Punk. Yeah. And here's another thing, right? And this is no disrespect to CM Punk, right? But from a WWE fan point of view, right? You want Cody Rhodes to finish the story and be champion. You want The Rock to go up against Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. You want LA Knight to get a push because he deserves it. Mm-hmm. You think that Drew McIntyre should have another title run. And you also think that Gunther is world title worthy, right? And you want to throw CM Punk in the mix as well? Like,
pretty much.
WWE's fantastic. We've got loads of fucking brilliant options. So, like, from a WWE standpoint, are you going to sign the man who, without sounding disrespectful, is past his prime?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. I think, to be honest, because Survivor Series is in Chicago and it's coming up and it happens to fall around the time that he probably would be available again, people have just gone, that could be a thing. And then people have, that could be a thing. People have looked at it and got, everyone's reaching out and asking.
CM Punk rocking up at Survivor Series would be as ridiculous as Undertaker turning up at NXT.
Exactly.
It's just not going to happen.
Exactly. So, yeah.
But no, I use that joke obviously to illustrate the fact that stranger things have happened, but it just doesn't seem likely at this point.
No. Well, let's check in with us tomorrow because
who knows?
Yeah, someone else will have had a new thought on that. Speaking of new thoughts, new names, new things, Brian Pillman Jr. is going to be Brian Pillman Jr. no more. So we've been seeing these little vignettes on NXT for a little bit. Some dude with a mullet. Who could it be? Watching some old school like clips of second generation, third generation wrestlers, and then obviously including Brian Pillman. And then it's turned out to be this guy, but apparently, according to the latest promo, he's nobody's junior. He's now going to go by Lexis King, taking his real. I don't really know how they framed it, but taking his real parents' name or something. Yeah, I don't really know. But yeah, I sent something on WhatsApp to you before. I was like, he's put this post up saying, "I'm nobody's junior." Meanwhile, dressed fucking exactly like his dad with a fucking little waistcoat and stupid little.
He's been a carbon copy. His whole shtick in every company so far has been, "I'm Brian Pillman's son." So
exactly. I mean, the whole way they're bringing them in is still, just so you know, he is his son, but we're not going to call him that.
Yeah, but we want to be able to copyright whatever name he uses. So,
exactly.
So, and this is the reality of it. Like, he's going to try and sell the reason he's changed his name, but the reality is he's changed his name because WWE don't want him using his own name.
Yeah,
it's as simple as that. He's not Jay Cargill, for fuck's sake.
But like, it's that how stupid all that is. It's like, oh, we're going to show all this old footage and we're going to make it very clear that he is Brian Pillman Jr.'s son. Brian Pillman's son. So it's like,
what, he's his own son now?
Yeah, it's fucking
how did that happen?
Weird sci-fi movie. But yeah, if he was that good and he was that much of a standalone talent, you wouldn't have to bring it up, would you? Let's be honest. Well, that's the route they've gone down.
I mean, so let's be honest. Cody's good and he's a standalone talent, but he still fucking brings it up.
Oh god, yeah.
So he doesn't necessarily. What I think's interesting, and I'm not saying this to be a dick, but he's come into the company quietly, had to do the vignettes, doing the NXT thing, had to change his name, and hasn't really been featured as strongly as Jay Cargill, who is not a second generation wrestler, who has not got a legacy in the business, who a lot of people would suggest is not even that great a wrestler, but she's got considerably more star power and has come in as Jay Cargill from AEW and is probably going to end up on SmackDown a lot fucking quicker. Oh, so it's interesting, like, even WWE aren't going, this guy's a big fucking deal.
No.
They're going, maybe we can do something with him. That's what they're doing right now.
Yeah. Well, it'll be I'm fascinated to see how he does. He's got a lot of fans for whatever reason. He's never.
I've yet to see why.
Yeah, I think we've always said Julia, star, Griff, star, Brian, there.
Yeah. I think it also kind of got under my skin a little bit because they were treating Brian like he was the big star of them three.
Yeah.
And he kind of went.
No, not at all. So we'll see. Obviously, wish him all the best. Hope it goes well for him, but I can't see it personally, especially with a name like Lexis King.
Yeah. Same after Carl and see what happens. So, Carl, speaking of funny names, Karrion Kross, because we can't say killer on PGTV.
He's angry, so he's cross.
Yeah.
I'm so cross with you.
He does the same face. Look, I've literally got a news article up, and it's the same face. Look, hang on, where's the camera?
Is it the same picture?
No, it's just him always going like he's got teeth. Look, he's got teeth. Maybe that's what.
Really happy with them teeth.
Maybe that's what it is. So, Carl, this is a bit of an odd one, really, to be honest, because there's not been anything solid. But the suggestion is from BWE is that Karrion Kross will be receiving a new push from WWE, that they are still interested in pushing him as a big star, and that'll be soon. But, you know, we're kind of busy with stuff creatively, Fastlane and what have you, so maybe not like right away, but definitely still got to push him at some point, maybe, which is slightly different to the last time that they mentioned him in the news and said WWE gave him one last chance and then he's out the fucking door. So I don't know if this is necessarily that one last chance that was previously referred to, or maybe the dirt sheets are just full of shit. I don't really know.
Yeah. It's funny, this whole thing, isn't it, with Karrion, because the stuff with Roman and everything has held everything up. Who's the top level babyface on SmackDown at the minute?
Ray, probably.
Yeah, so that's how we're going to get Ray Mysterio. Isn't that
he's
what we had?
He's already had, yeah.
So it's like, what are we actually going to get here on SmackDown? This is what I don't understand. Like, it's the fucking Jimmy and Solo show at the moment. And, like, they're having to bring in people from fucking Raw to get involved and stuff all the time with them. So where does he even fit? And it's not like he hasn't had chances, let's be honest. He tried to do something with him and Drew. We splashed water on him. It was dead scary.
Honestly, I wonder whether he's just not a WWE guy, to be honest with you. And I don't wish him to not be there. He obviously wants to be there, but when you go, he was a big deal.
He was big
until
in NXT,
he was in WWE.
But he was big in NXT. So
but even now, if you think about it, he was treated well, and he won the championship, and then vacated it, and then that was kind of his NXT run.
Yeah.
So even that wasn't like I don't think it was long enough to even go. That they treated him a lot better than they're treating him now.
Yeah.
But
it had the potential.
His stardom
the
didn't come from
and the whole thing, and like now they're trying to kind of do it, but it feels a bit more phoned in on the main roster, and it's like
because it feels a little bit more like he's probably not going to follow through with it.
You know what it is? It's the hair, isn't it? It's like the opposite of Samson. If he shaved his head, he'd have his powers.
Imagine if he finds that out. Like,
yeah. I don't know what he just looks. He just doesn't look as menacing, does he? As you say, when he's got hair like that, he just looks like. Whereas when he's got a shaved head, he looks a more vicious, I guess.
He actually looks like he's worked like a 12-hour day and he's just ready for some food.
Be managing a fucking Target.
Nice.
So, short and sweet this one. I can't remember the actual name of the territory because they're good. But NWA are bringing back the territories, Anthony, because there was a show during an Exodus Pro event where Billy Corgan and EC3 made an appearance. And they announced that Exodus Pro is now going to become a new NWA territory. So they're bringing the territories back. So as a result of this, I think EC3 is now going to be like their champion, but it's going to be like recognized under the NWA umbrella and all that good stuff. So very old school. But they're bringing it back. If you remember, NWA used to go around and have like NWA Midwest, NWA Atlantic. All these
that's interesting. Do you think that could work in a modern day setting?
I don't know, to be fair.
All right then.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, it kind of already happens like that, but just not branded. Because if you think about like a lot of the AEW roster, for example, they still go and work other shows.
Yeah, but I suppose the thing for me is like, can NWA put enough people under the umbrella that it would work, or are we going to have a load of NWA umbrellas and then indie shows anyway?
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
It's a tough one, to be fair. I think the plan with it, if I was going to do it, is you get all these NWA branded territories.
That's like backpedal. Are you involved in this?
Maybe.
The plan is, well, if I was going to do the plan, so, I don't know, man.
And you share the talent across the rosters, but you have your NWA champion in each territory, and then obviously you've kind of got like, oh, that champion's come over, and you have all that kind of stuff going on. So I don't know how they're going to play it, but I think it'd be good to get all these different NWA.
Points for them like trying something.
Well, yeah. Let's be honest. There was a time when NWA was all right. Actually, it was decent, and like when Thunder Rosa was there and stuff. Like, actually, we caught a few, didn't we? And we were like, it's pretty decent, this, you know.
And well, Empower was probably like the last great thing I saw them do. Yeah. No disrespect, they've probably done good stuff since, but that was probably the last great thing I saw them do.
But I feel like it has gone downhill a little bit. Obviously, Nick Aldis has left. We had the whole reign of Tyrus for a bit, which was just like
reign of Tyrus,
a big, fucking thing forever. So I'm interested to see with this new venture now, how does that step it on? Because, as you say, it's a bold strategy, Carden. Let's see. But
let's see how they bring it on. Yeah. So, Carl, you remember the Dyad? No, me neither.
No.
So, but the stars of the Dyad, formerly known as the Grizzled Young Veterans, have now left NXT. They are no longer signed with the company, and we'll see what happens next. A nice short one, but these guys were always super talented. I think it was a shame when they tried to put them under the whole whatever fucking cult thing Joe Gacy was doing. Because the Young Vets were a fucking cool tag team, and I didn't think they needed repackaging per se, and neither did they by the seams of it. So now they're gone.
Yeah, and I'm an Everton fan as well. We were basically just fucking Liverpool fans. Was their gimmick, wasn't it? So,
so you hated them?
Well, that's what I didn't even mind them. And I'm
okay.
So, I mean, like,
I thought you were like, so now fuck them.
No, but like, yeah, they've rebranded them. They didn't need to do that. And they've been pushing for a release for a while. Got rejected. Now they've let the contract.
We want to go. No.
Yeah, well, exactly. And now obviously the contract has run down, and they are off. So where they are off to remains to be seen. But
this means that weird cult thing that I don't even know if it's still going, but the Joe Casey thing's probably done. Which is a shame because he had the makings to be a good talent, but they were that busy pushing Bron Breakker when nobody likes Bron Breakker because he just looks like a fucking tanned up Jersey. Fucking like what is his personality in this thing? Not to start to digress, but like how is he even a thing? Because he just doesn't seem. He seems to have the personality of a spud.
Yeah, because he's Rick Steiner's son that wants nothing more than to be like his Uncle Scott. So
So he's like,
but his dad's mate.
My uncle Scott Steiner, and they're like, the Rick Steiner son is like, yeah, but my uncle Scott Steiner.
Basically, yeah, how it's gone.
Okay, that's not the Cody effect. That's not how it works.
Because do you want to have some kind of homage to it? Like your dad used to have like the dog things. Like, yeah, I'll call myself like something to do with the dog, but I want to have like the sirens like Scott Steiner. I want to do like a math promo like Scott Steiner.
I want to come out with chainmail on my head.
Just like,
But I don't know. I feel like they're throwing so much shit at Braun Breaker and seeing what sticks. When you know what, there's other good shit going on next to you that they're sleeping on, and this is a clear sign because now we've got two very talented dudes leaving the company because they're not getting
two grizzled young vets.
Yeah, apparently so.
Gone.
Sad.
But speaking of vets,
on air, nice. Come on.
I thought this was like I spit in the face almost.
Why didn't I make it work like that?
But yeah, Carlito's back, baby. But we did think this at Backlash, and that didn't end up happening.
I mean, strictly speaking, he was back.
Yeah, and he was on the lash, but then we haven't seen him for a bit. So he's been away. He was the mystery partner for the LWO at Fastlane.
Trouble is, he actually had to walk from Backlash, so he's just been all this time. He's just been walking.
Yeah, fair play.
Didn't want to rent a plane ticket. Rent a plane ticket? That's how it works.
Can you do that?
I'm gonna rent this ticket, please.
But yeah, he's back. He's got a new T-shirt. He's got terrible fucking new music. What was wrong with the old one, please? Explain that to me.
It wasn't Def Rebel.
So yeah, I believe he's now going to be on SmackDown going forward. So when we were talking about who's Karrion Kross going to feud with, well, here's the only other babyface that they've now got. So
I was like, let's put him with the LWO.
Yeah. Well, exactly.
Okay. Sure.
It was interesting because at Backlash he came out with a LWO shirt and everything, whereas this time he just came out as Carlito shirt and it was the LWO and Carlito. So
I'm hoping he stays a separate thing, but the fact that he was involved in LWO stuff, I'm like, I'm gonna keep doing that. Yeah. Carlito, he's too cool for that.
Yeah. Well, I'm wondering, and it'd be terrible if they don't act upon it. We need to see John Cena and Carlito while it's there.
Please,
like,
let it happen.
Come on.
And if somehow the US title can be involved, that'd be
great. After all these years, just have Jesus appear on one random episode. Like, sorry. Just walk off. He's fucking brilliant. What a hell of a throwback. But yeah, he's there. We love Carlito. I'm excited to see what he does. I keep forgetting LA Knight when I'm like, SmackDown doesn't even have a top baby face. Obviously, they've got LA Knight.
Oh, yeah.
And John Cena.
To be fair, even the press conference forgot about LA Knight.
Yeah. But this is another one to add to the rank. So, you know what? I hope it goes really well for him. I'd love to see him get a decent shot or like a main event push.
Indeed.
I can't deserves one. Belt, but,
and he's looking jacked, so.
He is, indeed.
We know how Vince likes that, although Vince isn't in charge of Creative anymore. I don't know how much Triple H likes that. We'll see. Well, he keeps signing like Gargano. And...
keeps signing Gargano. The same guy.
Keep releasing him just so I can sign him again. I just love it. Right, I don't. He's not actually been released at any point, Gargano. I don't know why I picked that one. But anyway.
Just injured all the time. Because he's not a big monster guy. That's probably.
So, Carl. Speaking of Lady Frost. Oh, yeah, okay, I'm going for it. Segue. So yeah, Lady Frost, Carl, Ring of Honor star, as we know it, has apparently been quietly signed with AEW for some time. Now, we've seen her appear on AEW shows on quite a few different times now with the various different top stars, so it seems that she's got a good position in the company, but there was never any solid confirmation that she signed. We haven't had the Lady Frost is All Elite graphic. We still haven't had that graphic, but rumour would have it that she's actually already signed a contract and is a contracted AEW talent now.
That is interesting. You've got to wonder whether they were maybe saving her to do something with Jade, and then now the Jade situation's become very clear, and that she's no longer with AEW. What does that mean? They're going to
have to like release it and send it to WWE if she wants to do something with Jade.
Well, do you know what I saw? I think she had one match as like an enhancement talent with WWE. I saw some clickbaity article somewhere saying ex-WWE superstars being quietly set, and I'm like, are you fucking shitting me? Ex-WWE superstar.
Always happens.
Horrendous.
Always happens.
Do you know what? Fair play. She's really what's the word? She's well regarded by a lot of people. I think she had a good stint with Impact for a bit. As you say, she had a couple of appearances with AEW, with Ring of Honor, but we've not seen much of her lately. So if she's under contract, I imagine we'll see her soon. Whether that's on Ring of Honor, whether it's on AEW, who knows? But you could do something with Ty Valkyrie, you could do something with Athena, you could do something.
Oh, there's just a ton of options. The women's division's actually pretty awesome. You know, they still need to use it better and give them more time, but the women's division's actually pretty awesome when you look at the talent in there.
Yeah, it is. So excited to see where she ends up. And somber one to end on, but it appears Bobby Roode's ring career is over. He's been removed from the active wrestler pages on WWE. He's now been working as an agent for a little bit. We recently saw him in the Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa little backstage skit that he did, where he had another glorious bomb, but as a producer this time. So it appears that for the foreseeable, at least, his in-ring career is over.
That's a real shame. I mean, dude had like a ton of charisma. I'll be honest, I didn't really see much of him in the ring, but you can't deny how over he was with the audience just based on his personality.
I loved this whole glorious gimmick, and it's such a shame that we never got to see it properly on the main roster. They just kind of fumbled him. They teamed him with Ziggler for a bit. They just kind of didn't have a clue. Didn't have a clue what they were doing, did they? So massive shame, because I think that glorious character could have really got over it in the main.
That glorious character.
That glorious.
Now we're stuck with Braun Breaker.
For fuck's sake. Yeah, so bit of a shame, but at the same time, looks like he's going to be sticking around as an agent or a producer for WWE. So fair play, he's at least landed on his feet there. So all the best to him for that. But sad that is the end of the road for the in-ring side of things.
Indeed.
So yeah, that the news. Do what you do. Do the likes, do the subs, do the comments, all that good stuff.
This be the end.
Let us know your thoughts on any of these stories. Is Punk going to come back to WWE? Do you really care whether Triple H is in charge or it's Vince? And if so, why? Does it really matter? Let us know all that good stuff, and we will catch you on the next one.